Hello everybody, welcome back to Amazing Abner, and in case you didn't know, my name is Tom, and today we are going to be talking about my January 2021 sales. I failed miserably in January, but the good news is I am full of excuses, and I'm going to share them with you right now. Okay, well, I mentioned that I was full of excuses, and I certainly am. But the first thing we're going to do here is we'll go through the products that I sold in January. I'll start with the very first thing I sold, which was on January 2nd. I'll go through everything in order throughout the entire month. We'll pull everything up on the screen so you can see what it was. I will tell you what I paid for it, where I got it, and then I will touch on my excuses. That'll make me feel better. Okay, so starting off the month, as I mentioned on January 2, I sold some Homer Laughlin eggshell Nautilus bowls. I believe these were soup bowls. Just kind of took a shot on these just on a whim, and I wound up selling those for $17.90 plus shipping. I've had some success in the past with the Falls Craft dishes, but now taking a chance on this Homer Laughlin. It sold relatively quickly from when I purchased it as well. Sold for a lot more than I paid for it. I wound up getting the pieces for $6 total, and as I mentioned, sold for nearly $18 plus shipping. The next thing we sold were two vintage Disney book/albums. They were from 1977. They contained little 33 1/3 albums. You can play those and it would read the story to you more or less. You can follow along. These were actually a gift from my nephew Bailey. He donated them to me to be sold. So $9.80 plus shipping for those. The next thing we sold was one of those dreaded mystery boxes of jewelry. And I say dreaded because if you've seen my past videos, I accumulated all this jewelry and didn't know what in the heck to do with it. I don't ever want to see another piece of jewelry, at least in my store, unless I find something really special. So what I basically did was I gathered up all this jewelry that I had accumulated. I divvied it up evenly, put it in mystery boxes, and sold these mystery boxes for $39.89 with free shipping. The one that sold here was the final one of the three, so we have no more jewelry. Next up, on January 3rd, as well as the box of jewelry going out, we sold a Cincinnati Bengals die-cast truck. Had that for a little bit of time, probably had that for a couple of months. I believe I paid $2 for that, so not a bad sale there, $21.89 free shipping. Next up, we had a set of Resident Evil DVDs. These were from the personal collection of Amazing Abner. I've had these since the movies came out, probably watched once, $12.89 plus shipping. Next thing we sold was a Wii Rock Band guitar. And I had a whole video revolving around these guitars, and this was the last one. I'm glad to get rid of it. It went for $21.89 plus nearly $16 in shipping. They're just difficult to ship, and I had one come back to bite me where I measured and weighed everything and shipped it for, let's say, $16, and then it turned out that shipping was really $40, and I got charged after the fact, and it was just a mess. And if I wouldn't have had this guitar at the time, I never would have purchased another one. Unless you have local contacts and can sell something like this locally, I would not want another Rock Band guitar. We're done with them. Next up, we sold a book, Lone Wolf, number 7. This is Castle Death. This is basically a choose your own adventure type book. I got this in a lot with some other books off of eBay. We sold that for $12.89 with free shipping. Next up is something that I do not think I have talked about before on this channel. I sold a set, as I have them marketed here, of indoor-outdoor meat thermometers. I sold the set for $21.89 with free shipping. So I have these listed in my store as the set, and then I have them listed individually as well. This was my first and only overseas import. I wound up making a purchase of 50 of these. If I had it to do all over again, I probably would not have done it, but I did weigh the risk reward, and I did not spend a whole lot out of pocket for these. Really, in terms of, the cost of goods is everything added in, but the meat thermometers themselves were a really good deal. The problem was when you import something from overseas, and these came from China, the shipping was like 3 times the amount of the item. So I'm making a little bit of profit on these, but not enough to where I would ever want to buy these again. All right, next up, we sold a Native American statue. This was part of a auction, a live auction that I won. Got 20 pieces for $20. So this was $1. We did not sell it for $19.89. We actually sold it for $15 on a best offer plus shipping. So basically $1 turned into $15 plus shipping. I'll take that all day. Next up, it was January 10th. I sold the Guinness t-shirt that I think the very first thrifting trip I ever made when I started this channel back in August 2020. I picked up this Guinness t-shirt from a local Goodwill, and I probably paid $3 or $4 for it. I just wanted to get rid of it, so we sold it for $3.99 plus shipping. Well, lo and behold, look at that. The next item that sold, one of the individual thermometers. Sold that for $11.89 free shipping. Next sale, we had quite a gap here. We jumped to January 22, so basically a week without any sales. And this was a loss. A BOGO. I pieced together these 2 spa facial kits for kids. This came in a Wholesale Ninja lot that I purchased. I just cannot move these things. I've tried many creative ideas. So we're not taking a loss. Everything out of the Wholesale Ninja lot just split evenly, was $208. So the cost of goods on these 2 would be $416. We're making change. I wouldn't buy that Wholesale Ninja GM lot again. I can tell you that. Nothing against Wholesale Ninja. I would even consider trying other lots in the future, but not the general merchandise lot. All right, the very next day we had a couple of sales. We started with a Back to the Future original NES game from the personal collection of Amazing Abner. Sold that for $16.89 plus shipping. On the same day, sold a men's tie, Brooks Brothers. Again, a very early on purchase from a Goodwill. Actually, the same Goodwill that I got the Guinness t-shirt from. And I thought, Brooks Brothers, this is great. Perfect shape. Got the tie home, went to picture it, and the lighting that I had the tie under revealed a spot, like a grease spot or something right in the middle of the tie. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm going to take this tie and have it dry cleaned. And still the cost of the tie, which was like $2, and the dry cleaning, which will be probably $3, I'll be $5 in. I can still make nice money off of a 100% silk Brooks Brothers tie, but I didn't. The dry cleaning didn't get out the spot. It diminished it, but you could still see it, so I had to reveal that in the description. I didn't want to try to trick somebody. And so the actual sale price of the Brooks Brothers tie was not what you see on the screen. It actually sold for $8 even. So when it was all said and done, again, something I just kind of wanted to clear out, made a couple dollars on it. All right, and as we round out the month here, we have 2 final sales. I sold a Rollet cable and instruction book. And what this was a cable that went to an old vintage slide projector. I originally sold the slide projector. The gentleman I sold it to returned it and said it doesn't work. So I had no way to get it fixed. I literally have been hanging on to this thing for a couple of months. That same gentleman reached out to me and said, hey, if you would want to just sell me the cable and the instruction booklet, I would really be interested in buying that because I still have a use for that. So I replied back, you just tell me what is a fair price, and we'll go with that. He agreed on $30, so $30 free shipping. And the final sale on the final day of January, January 31st, dare I say, from the personal collection of Amazing Abner, The original Tecmo Bowl on NES. We sold that for $16.89, free shipping. All right, so at this point, it is time to share the overall sales figures with you. It wasn't a pretty picture. I'm just going to rattle off the history to this point. It's been completely revealed in other videos, but I'm not going to take the time to put all the numbers on the screen. We'll do some rounding here, but I started this in late July with $91 in sales. In August, we went 703, September 611, October, the sales disaster month, 370. November, we sold $492, and in December, our gross sales topped $754. I was hoping to stay on that $700 to $800 track. However, in January, we plummeted. We had January 2021 eBay sales of $402.78.
Bruh.
But there was a little bit of a saving grace. So as I share that figure of $402.78, we did decide to branch off. We're trying to grow Amazing Abner, conquer new lands, so to speak. And I did add some listings to Mercari. And we did sell an item on Mercari. I had a vintage Elvis plate, and I actually had a little wind up on it. It was a limited edition, and it played blue suede shoes. I had that on eBay for months, and there very little interest. I put it on Mercari, and within a couple of days, it sold. So that was my only sale of the month on Mercari, but I started in very late January with that listing, and that sold for $25. So if we take the Mercari sale, add that into eBay, our total sales, or our total gross revenue for January was $437.77. I figured I would start adding this in as well. So here is another little branch, another revenue stream, if you will. I try to use this PayPal credit card that I have for all of my purchases. And what I've been doing since the inception of Amazing Abner is I buy almost all my inventory on this PayPal credit card, and it has cash back. I think it's 2%. So every month I'm accumulating cash back. So like last year, I let it roll till December 31st, and I had like somewhere between $65 and $70 cash back. I just then withdrew that and I put it in my Amazing Abner bank account. So from here on out, I figured I would just include that in the monthly numbers. I'm going to let it roll throughout the whole year, but I can tell what I'm making month to month and cash back. I mean, I guess it is a revenue stream. So for the month of January, we didn't have a whole lot of purchases, and we wound up with $14.15 in cash back. And I'll give you a quick shot here of my chart. I keep a little sales chart just to kind of show the trends along with my numbers in an Excel spreadsheet. So there is a look at the updated chart as of the end of January 2021. I've also gotten into the habit of sharing my eBay conversion rate. I think this is an important number to keep track of. And ironically, and again, I'm not going to put them all up on the screen in all these past videos, I've done that so you can see month to month what they've been. My best month in conversion rate was my very first month, or my first full month on eBay, which was August 2020. I've stayed around 3.3, 3.2 up until December. And then in December, I believe I was 2.3. And when I had last month's video and we saw the 2.3, I said, we're going to take it as a one-off. I'm sure it's just a fluke, probably because there was a lot of people looking for things for the holidays, just clicking around and not actually making purchases. However, my conversion rate for the month of January was 2.2%. So it went down even further. So basically what's happening here is my items are showing up a lot in people's searches, but for every 100 people that actually clicks on one of my items and reads the description and takes a look at it, for every 100 of those folks, barely over 2 of them are actually saying, this is good enough, I'm going to buy it. So that could have something to do with my pricing. I don't know. But we'll take a look at it. But this is also a good time, I think, to throw in that excuse of pricing. I mentioned at the beginning that I was full of excuses. And of course I kid. But I will say this, January, I put a lot more work into YouTube. I'm really juggling this YouTube channel and eBay at the exact same time. I put in a lot of work on YouTube, and I have this YouTube growth series. I've already had 2 videos. I'll be coming out very shortly with video number 3. So for every 15 minutes, I sit here in front of this camera and I record a video. I will take hours upon hours to edit that video to get it ready for YouTube. That's something that I need to get better with. A lot of my reselling friends seem like the raw footage is the way to go, and I'm certainly in the minority with the massive amount of editing that I do. It doesn't necessarily seem to be helping. So basically, just as a time-saving measure, I think I need to cut back on the editing and just go with a lot more just in front of the camera, just talking to you guys and not worrying about transitions and sound effects and, you know, constant jumping from frame to frame to kind of keep people interested. I mean, either you're interested in the topic of reselling or whatever it is I'm making a video on, or you're not. And I'm hoping if you click on it that you're interested enough to stick around. I guess then that depends on me. So anyway, that took up a whole lot of time. Editing has just been killing me. January, I ran that giveaway, the $100 eBay gift card giveaway that went almost the entire month. It went 3 weeks. Each week I did a video where I would put in another aspect of the giveaway, or, you know, something to look for or something to do. And I tried to make it fun and entertaining, but it took up a whole lot of time. My real job, as I say, ate up a lot of time. January was a very busy month. I'm in the financial industry, and with taxes and so forth, January was just a killer month for us. And I'm not going to say I was working 50-hour weeks, but there was weeks I was pushing 50. And then when you're trying to squeeze in eBay listing and packaging and shipping and all that during the week, I'm working, you know, pretty much from 6:45 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You finish up, eat dinner, start doing some eBay, try to squeeze in a YouTube video here and there. That's the week. So then when the weekend comes, my wife and I, my kids, we have all of our chores. You know, we got to go shopping. We got to do this. We got to take care of this. We got to fix this. We got to clean this. And the time, it's just brutal. So in terms of me sharing my multitude of excuses, I need to become more efficient with my time. I need to map out a better strategy on how to utilize my time. And a couple Sundays ago, there were 2 really big football games on. You have to watch those, so what am I supposed to do? So it's just one thing after another taking up time. This Sunday, it's the Super Bowl. What can you do? So going back to the video editing, I think I'm wasting a lot of time. If you're spending 3 hours to edit a 15-minute piece of video, which I'm telling you I do. You may not notice, but I'm telling you I do. That's probably a problem. So we'll take care of that. And I don't want to forget, this is very important, so please listen carefully. If you made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I would truly appreciate it. A little channel like mine, we can use all the love we can get. Okay, so I want to finish things up by sharing a couple things that I brought up in the previous monthly sales video. Number 1 being that I did hit my top-rated seller status. I thought you got a badge on your items, that actually had a little badge on there that said top-rated seller. And I was like, man, this is great. It's really going to help push my sales. People will have more confidence when they see I'm a top-rated seller. And you don't see that. I'll pull it up on the screen. If you actually go into my store and click on Amazing Abner, you'll see this right here. But in terms of anything on my items, on my listings, you don't see the badge. I think that's only for maybe top-rated plus that you actually see the badge still. If I'm wrong, please let me know. And also in the previous video, I mentioned managed payments. I did finally get set up into managed payments. It is cool. I like that the fees are out. I get an email every day, or in my case, a couple times a week saying, hey, we're putting money into your bank account, which is nice. So I really enjoy the managed payments. And finally, before we get out of here, let me know about this lighting. I don't like it. Just something's off. Let me know what you think. That's about as bright as the ring light goes. So that is total brightness for that setting of the ring light. We got that setting. And we've got that setting. So there's the three choices. Let me know which one you think is better. All right. Thank you so much for watching the video. I always appreciate you guys stopping by. Take care of yourselves. And please do me a favor. Treat others the way you'd like to be treated. We'll see you next time.